Welcome to Comics Expertise. Do those things that every YouTuber requests you do before you leave. Don't make me beg for it like a peasant.
You know what I want.
Anyway, if Rebecca Romaine doesn't get you to like and subscribe, I don't know what will. So this comic was written by Donny Cates and illustrated by Nick Klein, and they brought all of their expertise to bear on this issue. There's great dialogue, amusing moments that don't overshadow the more serious and reflective parts. Also, some characters it was interesting to see, like Loki, Sif, Volstagg, and even a couple Avengers. The real surprise characters to see were Galactus and the Silver Surfer though. So to get into the spoilers and summarization part of this video, we open on Mjolnir hurtling through space, trailing a rainbow and carrying Thor's voice even as he's back on Asgard. His hammer traverses all 10 realms as his testament is heard. He says, "Hear me, the old king is gone. We have, all of us, warred enough for 1,000 lifetimes. Enough blood has been spilled in the 10 realms. Enough death, from the rose-scented rainstorms of heaven to the deepest hollows of Niflheim. It ends now, it ends forever, it ends with me. So hear this, realms of the world ash, for I shall say it only once. Let there be peace, or let there be thunder." So this is where the Avengers cameo briefly as the hammer lands on Earth, taking out a giant moloid monster they were fighting. Thor seems to be avoiding his duties hanging with Lady Sif, but she sees what he is up to and tells him to go be king. He walks off with his brow furrowed as he says, "But what is a king to a god?" And he's right. That sounds like one hell of a demotion to me. But as Thor attends court, there's a funny scene with Volstagg that's interrupted by Loki. Loki attempts to throw shade at Thor when he asks, "How does it feel to sit on Father's throne?" Thor's response to this was priceless. Could have said something angry, could have thrown a hissy fit, but he flexes on Loki with the sheer dismissiveness of his answer when he says, "I wouldn't know, brother. I have only ever sat on mine." He then flexes again when he requests that Loki bow to him, seeing as how he's a foreign king in a kingdom that's not his. With the most sour look on his face, Loki bows. And if you thought, okay, he's flexed on Loki enough, you would be wrong, because he does so for a third time in about as many minutes. Ask me about the third flex in the comments. Galactus interrupts Thor's flexing when he comes crashing out of nowhere into Asgard in a double-page spread, heavily wounded and missing an entire arm. Thor stops embarrassing Loki and goes to immediately attack Galactus. Galactus asks Thor to stop. He asks Thor to stop. From on his back. That's how hurt he is. Otherwise, he'd lay Thor out with a flick of his wrist. When Thor relents, Galactus warns of the Great Star Plague, the Great Black Winter is coming, and then passes out. Thor, rightfully concerned as the World Tree is dying, assembles all the heralds of Galactus he can find to ask, "What is the Black Winter?" Silver Surfer gives him the rundown as he says, "It is the end of everything. The Black Winter killed the universe before ours. As Galactus devours worlds, the winter comes for realities." So the plan the Surfer lays out for stopping this is to feed Galactus 5 special MacGuffin planets that he came across but kept secret from Galactus during his time as the Herald, because these rare and unique worlds would give Galactus powers beyond imagining. So with the plan concocted, the Surfer asks Galactus if he is ready to go eat these planets like Thanksgiving dinner, but Galactus says no. He explains that the Black Winter is perceived differently by everyone who looks at it, as they all see their true death. While explaining this to the surfer, he asks, "Do you know what I saw as the embodiment of my one true death?" He fires an energy beam from his hand as he says, "I saw Thor." The energy blast hits Thor, but instead of Thor being hurt, we see this. Thor has been turned into a herald of Galactus, so that once they take care of the Great Black Winter, Galactus can have words with Thor. And that's the end of the comic. So not gonna lie, my comic expertise lies primarily with the X-Men. I'm by no means a Thor hater or a Thor lover. That being said, I look forward to covering more of this book. I have no complaints about it. I enjoyed everything about it. The art, the dialogue, the flexes, the character appearances. No complaints. You should definitely go buy this. Now, some ideas about the channel. Well, one idea so far, besides reviews. I am thinking of a series called At the Expense Of, where I detail defeats and embarrassments that happened in the comics at the expense of certain characters. And if you are one of my family or friends, you know that the very first person I do a video like this on is going to be Wolverine.